In Godforge, victory won't just belong to the strongest team. It'll belong to the smartest. Because behind every hero is something easily overlooked. Buffs and debuffs. Yeah, I know, doesn't sound too exciting, does it? But I'm telling you, this is where fights are won before they even start. These are the tools that turn average heroes into nightmares, and enemy bosses into punching bags. Today, I'm breaking down everything. Every buff, every debuff, the classics, the weird ones, even the game-breaking ones they'll probably nerf later. You want to win? Learn this. You want to lose? Ignore it. Your call. Alright, let's start with the good stuff. These are the buffs, the tools that make your heroes hit harder, live longer, and in some cases, completely break your opponent's strategy. And yeah, we're starting with the basics, but trust me, ignoring these is exactly how you lose fights you should have won. First up are your basic increases. Attack, defense, accuracy, resistance, and speed up all boost your hero's stats. Increase the right stats, and they'll get better at the thing they're supposed to be good at. Simple. They each come in 3 tiers, but if you want the best, find a hero who brings the 3rd tier. Anything less, and you're leaving damage at the table. Next up is Sharpen. This one sounds fancy, but it's really just more crit damage. Want to hit harder? Bring this and your enemies won't know what hit them. But now comes that Godforge secret sauce. Initiative up. This increases the rate your hero gains divinity, more easily understood as their ultimate ability meter. And here's the fun part, you don't have to wait until their next turn to use it. Want to sow chaos and break through your enemy's speed team meta? Focus on divinity and use initiative up. Alright, now we're getting into the control buffs. These buffs help you shape the fight and counter whatever your enemy is throwing your way. Protect is your classic damage soak. The ally who casts it takes a chunk of the damage for someone else. Use the 3rd tier version of it, and they'll eat nearly half of the hit. Protect those squishy heroes and save the team. Next, we've got shields and barriers. And no, they're not exactly the same. Shields are simple. Absorb damage until they break. You can't stack them, you can't buff them. What you see is what you get. Barriers, though? Different story. Barriers stack, they scale. Build around them, and suddenly your fragile DPS is standing behind a fortress of protection. Next comes Intercept. Place this one on an ally and they won't even get hit. Instead, you do. Dangerous? Sure. But it'll win fights if you've got the right tank to pull it off. And finally, Retaliate. Some heroes don't just take a punch, they punch back. You hit them, they hit you. It's that simple. But pro tip? Put Intercept and Retaliate together. That's not just defense, that's a trap. Hit me, and you get hit yourself. Again, again, and again. Whew, well, that's a lot, but stay with me here. We're almost done with the buffs. Let's not forget about support buffs. These are the lifesavers, the fight flippers, the how is your team still alivers. Radiance cuts down incoming damage and sends some of it flying back at the enemy. Great for bruisers who want to make the enemy heroes regret their choices. Immortal is exactly what it sounds like. You can't kill me, yet. Your hero will drop to 1 HP, but they'll still stand tall. A great stall tactic if you time it right. But don't forget, you'll lose a stack once you hit that 1 HP threshold, so if you really want to keep your glass cannon alive until their next turn, you better bring plenty of this buff. And then there's Ward, straight up immunity to attack damage. Nothing gets through until it breaks, but once it does, you better be ready. Vanish turns your hero into a ghost. They can't be directly targeted. Sure, AoE still hits, but try sniping them with a single target nuker while Vanish is active. Mend is steady, quiet value. Not only does this bring healing every turn, but it also reduces the bleed stacks applied to your heroes. Nothing too flashy, but reliable survival buffs. Reflect? Well, the next debuff you get hit will bounce right back to the fool who tried it. Timing this one is everything. Then there's Stalwart. Shuts down disables before they land. And if you're already marked with one, dropping Stalwart will cleanse it instantly. Total counter synergy. And finally, Phoenix. Instant revive, full health, full turn meter. It's dramatic, it's powerful, it's unfair. But it's awesome. Use it right and you'll flip fights people thought they won. Remember what I said about nerfing some stuff?
How am I need looking at?
Wow, that was a lot. And hey, that's it for buffs. And if you're still here, congratulations. You're now smarter than 90% of the player base. So, we've seen the good stuff. Now, it's time for the bad stuff. These are the debuffs. The reason your hero suddenly hits like a wet noodle, takes a nap in the middle of the fight, or dies wondering what just happened. And just like buffs, we start with the basics. Attack, defense, accuracy, resistance, speed, and initiative down. If it's a stat that makes you stronger, faster, or harder to kill, there's a debuff that takes it away from you. And let's not forget about Blunt. That one decreases both strong hit and critical damage. Same idea as the buffs, 3 tiers, bigger numbers, bigger problems. And speed down in particular, that one hurts, especially if you're playing the speed game. But here's where it gets fun. Initiative down is brutal if you're going for ultimates. Why? Because when your initiative drops, your divinity slows down. Remember all that beautiful chaos we talked about with initiative up? Yeah, this is its counter. You're not just going to be going slower, you're going to be desperate to get that ultimate ready while your enemy pops theirs first. Basic debuffs, sure, but ignore these at your own risk. Now, let's talk damage. These buffs won't just hit you, they'll hurt you. First up, bleed. Simple, reliable, stackable. Bleed stacks up to 10 times and cuts you down by 1% max HP every single turn. Get hit with 1 stack? No big deal. 8 or 10, it's a bloodbath. Next comes Blaze. Same idea, but for everyone. It burns your whole team for a flat percentage of max HP. Doesn't care how much defense you brought, if you've got health, it's going to melt. And Acid, now that's where it gets ugly. It disables armor sets completely. You built that hero with a 15% attack bonus? Gone. And if you were hoping to hide behind shields and barriers, bad news. Acid deals double damage to both. Last, we've got Drain. Drain flips the whole fight on its head. Your team deals more damage and heals from that damage. It's like stealing someone's lunch money while punching them. Don't sleep on damage over time. It's not loud, but it's lethal. Now, here's where things get real dirty. Disruption effects won't hurt you, but they'll break your strategy, shut down your team, and make you wish you stayed home today. Let's start with Banish. Temporary, strategic, evil. If a hero dies while Banish is active, they can't be revived the next time you try. And if it was stacked at time of death, well, each subsequent revive will reduce its duration, but good luck doing that mid-fight when the pressure's on. But at least there's hope. With block revive though, no second chances, no retries. You die, you stay dead, period. But sometimes it's not about death. It's about ruining your plan while your heroes are still alive. That's where Curse comes in, chopping your incoming healing, shield, or barrier strength by up to 75%. Stack that with other damage, and suddenly that perfect sustain comp you built looks like glass. And then there's Vulnerable. This one's cruel because it makes every debuff hurt more by up to 60%. That's your bleeds, your burns, all of it amplified. But hey, it's okay. You still have control over your heroes, right? Good luck with that when Charm shows up. Charm flips the script. It takes the next attack for the enemy that places this debuff. Confused by what that means? Yeah, so will your hero. But messing with your turn isn't enough. Corrupt lets your enemy yoink anything you try to put up. You want buffs? Well, they'll get them first. And then there's the whole family of lock debuffs. Lock passive, lock ultimate, or even lock core. Together, they form the No Fun Allowed trilogy. You get any of these on your heroes and the corresponding ability will be unavailable until the debuff runs out. Get enough of these disruptive debuffs on your heroes and you won't be playing the game any longer. It will be playing you. And that's just about it. But wait, don't forget about that Godforge secret sauce, Divinity. These debuffs don't just mess with your stats or steal your buffs, they go after your soul. Let's start with Etherburn. This one's brutal. It doesn't just weaken you, it burns your divinity away even as you gain it. Think you're one turn away from that ultimate comeback? Think again. Even when your divinity bar's on fire, there's still a counter. Welcome Terrify to the ring. This is psychological warfare in debuff form. While Terrify is active, your divinity cost is increased by 50%. Your plan to unleash chaos? Stopped. Cold. In its tracks. Yeah, that's Terrify. Divinity debuffs aren't flashy or loud, but it can make a game plan never happen. Know it. Fear it. Counter it. Wow, well, I guess that was a lot after all. But that's the whole playbook. Every buff, every debuff. The basics, the broken, the beautiful. But don't think we're done yet, because disables? Oh yeah, those get their own video. This stuff doesn't just weaken your hero, it shuts them down completely. So if you thought this was getting complex, just wait. Make sure you're subbed, hit the bell, don't miss it. You're already ahead of the meta. See you in the next one.